أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ورتل القرآن ترتيلا.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Viewers of MTA, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to the program Tarteel, in which we learn and practice the correct pronunciation of the Holy Quran. And this is lesson number 3. In each lesson, we focus one surah and then we practice one rule of recitation. But in this lesson 3, we are going to revise the previously learned rules, rule of nun gunna, nasal sound, and rule of qalqala. Now, you may remember that last time we practiced Surah Al-Falaq, and in lesson 1 we practiced Surah An-Nas. But in lesson 3, in order to maintain the order, we will start from Surah Al-Falaq, which is chapter number 113, and Surah An-Nas, chapter number 114. You may remember that in Surah Al-Falaq, I told you about rule of qalqala. That means, qalqala means to jerk, to vibrate, to move. And especially those letters, 5 letters, qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal, when they are mute, either by a real mute sign like jazm or sukoon, or when they are mute when we make a waqf on that one. And I also highlighted a common error, which has been highlighted here with the red color, is fa. So on fa, there is a tashdeed and also a vertical fatha, and the similar tha with vertical fatha. So both letters should be prolonged for 2 counts, for 2 beats. So first of all, I like to ask Adnan, can you recite this word which is in bracket nicely? Yes.
النفاثات.
النفاثات.
But you make a noon gunna there. Say again.
النفاثات.
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 I make a waqf on that one. Okay. So this is quite clear that these are the 5 letters out of how many letters total?
29.
29. So 5 letters are called haruf qalqala. Okay. Now in Surah An-Nas, we practice rule of gunna, and gunna comes from where? Nose pipe. Okay.
Simulate.
So how many seconds?
2 seconds.
2 seconds. Okay. So there are many examples of noon with shadda in Surah An-Nas, and we practice that one. And the common errors which we highlighted were 3. Maybe different people have different, but most commonly these are the common errors. So first of all, Abdurrahman, can you read the first one?
أعوذ.
Second one?
ملك صدور.
Okay. أعوذ
أعوذ.
ملك
ملك
صدور.
صدور.
Okay. Now we move to next one, which is Surah Al-Falaq, and we do the practice of qalqala. Okay. I will do myself with you, and then afterwards I will ask you to do that one. I'm just concentrating on the word where the rule is that that has been highlighted. Al-falaq,
الفلق
khalaq,
خلق
waqab,
وقب
al-uqad,
العقد
hasad.
حسد.
Okay. Now each one of you will recite the same. Okay. So let's start with Adnan. Only those are highlighted.
الفلق خلق وقب عقد
Full word. Not we don't have to break the word. The words start with alif lam. So alif lam should be manifested, should be pronounced. Okay. Say again.
العقد حسد.
Okay, Hassan, you try.
الفلق خلق وقب العقد حسد.
الفلق خلق وقب العقد حسد
Hassan is there.
حسد.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
قل أعوذ برب الفلق.
قل أعوذ برب الفلق.
من شر ما خلق.
من شر ما خلق.
ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب.
ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب.
ومن شر النفاثات في العقد.
ومن شر النفاثات في العقد.
ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد.
ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد.
شر, okay, the ra with tashdid. ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد.
ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد.
Okay. Now, because we are practicing the rule of qalqala, and last time I gave you assignment, okay, and could you please tell me that which surah, in addition to Surah Al-Falaq or Surah Al-Lahab, you can practice for learning rule of qalqala? First one, you.
Surah Buruj.
Surah Al-Buruj. Okay. Yes.
Surah Al-Adiyat.
Surah Al-Adiyat. Yes, it's good. A similar small surah, good surah. And Adna?
Suratul Balad.
Surah Al-Balad. Okay. Surah Al-Inshiqaq, Surah Al-Tariq, also good. And the beginning part of Surah Al-Alaq as well. Okay. So let's, for the sake of practice, this is Surah Al-Lahab. Okay. Now we have to do this practice. Remember the last time I told you about 3 categories of qalqala: weak, strong, strongest, or light, medium, strong. Now the highlighted place here, which is let's say tab, kasab, strong, the second category. The highest category with tashdid, and when we are making a waqf on that one, lahabin wa tab, and kasab, lahab, al-hatab. Now the light qalqala, when it comes in the middle of a word. Now the good example here in hablun. Hablun.
حبل
Okay, we will do this one light and also the medium because it is coming at the end in this full phrase. Hablum min masad.
حبل من مسد.
So in this way we can understand and practice that in Surah Lahab you can find all three categories of qalqala. The first one is the highest, category 3, you see, the strongest one, when you have to make a waqf and also on that letter there is a shadda on that one, like the word tab. Next you have a light qalqala, the category 1 from hablun, and the other on masad, lahab, kasab, al-hatab are the second category, which is the strong. So 3 categories: weak, strong, and the strongest. And this surah is good for practicing the all 3 categories. Okay, but let me ask you to do this surah. So practicing all these 3 categories which this surah contains. So let's start with Adnan. You have to pronounce only those words which have been highlighted or where there is a qalqala. Okay, so start please.
وتب
Say no, full, more emphatic stop is needed.
وتب
Yes,
كسب
that is a, you should feel that this is a bit lower, a medium. If you make, yes, moderate. If you make a difference between the two, then you have understood the rule and you practiced. Okay, so say again.
كسب لهب الحطب حبل من مسد.
So the first one, hablun, is soft one. It's very soft because you are continuing your recitation. You are not ending your recitation there. You are not making waqf. Okay, let's try Hassan.
وتب كسب لهب الحطب حبل من مسد.
Okay, Abdurrahman.
وتب كسب
Now, small. Make a difference between the two because I think this is more emphatic.
وتب كسب لهب الحطب حبل من مسد.
Okay, you have to be very natural. Okay, not thinking that this time that this letter is coming, I have to. You make special effort. Yes, you have to make special effort, but that special effort should move into a natural area. Very, very natural, very spontaneous. All right, with the practice. I mentioned about 6 surahs: Al-Inshiqaq, Surah Al-Buruj, At-Tariq. You know that one. If you make a lot of practice that one, then all these rules will be natural. Okay, and you're making a difference between each category, but very soft, very natural, very smooth. Now, in Surah An-Nas, we practiced about Noon Gunna, which has been highlighted with a green color. Okay, so you have to give time of nasal sound. How many seconds? 2 seconds. 2 counts, 2 beats. So we'll have to do the same for practice. Remember, our strategy for learning and teaching the Quran is LRP. L, learn, R for revise, P for practice. LRP, learn, revise, practice, and continue doing that one. Okay, so let's start with Adnan. Okay, only green highlighted those words.
الناس 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 الخناس الناس الجنة والناس.
Okay, Adnan, just a question, quick question. if you are making a waqf on al-jinnati, how would you pronounce? Because we know that in each surah we are learning a new rule, but every surah has many rules. Though maybe we are focusing only one, but maybe 5-10 rules are somewhere, which inshallah we will learn and practice. Okay. So just this is a a point of forethinking. So how would you waqf on al-jinnati? Say again.
Al-jinnati wan-nas.
No, only the word al-jinnati. How would you waqf?
Al-jinnati.
No.
Al-jinnah.
Yes, al-jinnah. When you make a waqf, because this is also very much important. Remember that a good tilawat has 4 components. First of all is points of articulation, makharij, exit points of the letters. Then assimilation, the joining of 2 letters, 2 words. And then you have vowels, elongation, a smaller elongation or a longer one. I told you about the huruf al-madda, or the 3 basic stroke, fatha, kasra, dhamma. And the 4th component is waqf. Where to start and where to waqf, and how to waqf, how to make pause. Okay. So in this al-jinnati, this is ta'i marbuta, and in waqf, this 2 dots is eliminated. They are not pronounced. The last one, an-nas. Say.
An-nas.
Okay, you practice the same.
An-nas, 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 al-khannas, an-nas, al-jinnah.
Now you have to, yes, you did with the nasal sound, but the ha should be manifested because it is coming from the bottom of your throat. Al-jinnah.
Al-jinnah.
Okay, the last word.
An-nas.
Okay, Abdurrahman, you do the practice.
An-nas, 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 al-khannas, an-nas, al-jinnah, an-nas.
Okay, I was mentioning about the 4th components, 4 components of a good tilawat, and the first one I mentioned makharij, exit points, points of articulation, where letters are pronounced. Okay, but in makharij, it is very important to make a difference between similar sounding letters. Okay, now if we start from alif to ya, the 4th letter is a letter which is mixed with its sound with with the other letter like sin, and here we are going to practice this one. Now how to pronounce letter Thaa, which is the 4th letter of alphabet. To pronounce this letter correctly, it is important that we touch the tip of our tongue softly to the edges of our top 2 teeth, front 2 teeth, like Thaa, Thaa. You see, the tip of tongue is coming little bit coming out, and it touches the upper 2 teeth. Thaa. Now in this diagram you can see that this is a blue arrow and the front 2 teeth. Okay, these are the articulation point. Thaa, ath, ath, atha, atha. Points to remember. The tip of tongue comes out of the mouth little bit, because at the same time you are touching the edges. Okay, slightly touches the upper teeth, as you did that. Atha, 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 Secondly, you may have noticed that air will escape if you pronounce it correctly. If you are making a difference between Seen and Thaa, air would come out, would escape. You can feel. Say, Atha.
Atha.
You feel? Atha.
أث
A flow of air, is smooth. Atha.
Atha.
Tha.
ث
Ath.
أث
Atha.
Atha.
Now, practice of letter continues. Tha.
Tha.
Thi.
Thi.
Thu.
Thu.
Ath.
Ath.
Ith.
Ith.
Uth.
Uth.
Atha.
Atha.
Athi.
Athi.
Athu.
Athu.
Okay, start from Adnan. You do all the practice.
ث ث ث أث إث أث
Uth.
أث 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 أث
Okay, Hassan.
Thah. Thih. Thuh. Ath. Ith. Uth. Atha. Athi. Athu.
Tha. Thi. Thu. Ath. Ith. Uth. Atha. Athi. Athu.
Good, well done. Now we continue our practice. You remember that the word, any Arabic word, it can come in the beginning, in the middle, or at the end. So we have these examples from the Holy Quran. Each example has been taken from the Holy Quran, and mostly from part 30, because people knew small surahs, so they can make a practice. Now, in the beginning, the first one is thumma. So it has come many times. So let's do the practice. Thumma.
Thumma.
Al-Kawthar.
Al-Kawthar.
Fahaddith.
Fahaddith.
Okay, let's start from the beginning first. In the beginning, the first column, and then move to in the middle. Thumma.
Thumma.
Thuluthin.
Thuluthin.
Thamudu.
Thamudu.
Thalithu.
Thalithu.
As I mentioned, recite the following words with and without making pause. Okay, so we did without making pause, without making waqf. So how would they be pronounced in making waqf? So let's do the practice. Thum. Thuluth.
Thuluth.
Thamud.
Thamud.
Remember, you have learned one rule of qalqala. Now it is the time to apply that, because dal, though there is a dhamma is there, but we are making a waqf on that one, and as soon as we make a waqf, that dal become a letter of qalqala. Thamud.
Thamud.
Thalith.
Thalith.
Now the next column, Al-Kawthara.
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 At-Takathuru.
At-Takathuru.
Fa'atharna.
Fa'atharna.
Athqalaha.
Athqalaha.
You do that in waqf. Al-Kawthar.
Al-Kawthar.
At-Takathur.
At-Takathur.
Fa'atharn.
Fa'atharn.
Athqalaha.
Athqalaha.
Now the last column. Fahaddith.
Fahaddith.
It is already waqf, with sukoon. Al-Mabthuthi.
Al-Mabthuthi.
As I mentioned, you have learned one rule. Now this is the time to apply that one on ba, which is sukoon. Al-Mabthuthi.
Al-Mabthuthi.
Tuhaddithu.
Tuhaddithu.
Imba'atha.
Imba'atha.
Now we make a waqf. Fahaddith.
Fahaddith.
Al-Mabthuth.
Al-Mabthuth.
Tuhaddith.
Tuhaddith.
Imba'ath.
انبعث.
So you notice that some air is coming out, air is escaping. Now the assignment. Identify and practice the rule of noon gunna and qalqala in the first 5 rukus of part 1. In the previously I have given you assignment to find out the places of qalqala from certain surahs, Surah Al-Balad, Surah Al-Buruj, Surah Al-Tariq. But as I mentioned that if you have learned one rule, you can apply that rule from anywhere, in the text of the Holy Quran. You will find some examples. And in this assignment, you will find the example in the first 5 rukus. Now, ruku means section. Okay? So, as I mentioned last time that there are 114 chapters of the Holy Quran, 30 parts. So, 558 sections, ruku. Okay? 558, if you count down, the total comes 558. Identify the letter Thaa, which we have just practiced in the first juz part of the Holy Quran. Juz means part, ruku' means section, and juz, how many parts? 30 juz, or 30 parts. So you have to recite them loudly. So find out the example of Thaa in the whole first part. Okay? And I think there are maybe 141 or 142 verses, 16 ruku'. So you can check, you can highlight. Okay? So if you have a copy of the Holy Quran, you can highlight with this one, making a concentration and reading them loudly. Okay? So viewers of MDA, Jazakumullah watching our program. If you have any question or comment, please write to us, tarteel@mta.tv. Until the next program, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم